is a man wearing a MAGA hat in the chemo room. I can't get a good look at him because my body is plugged into a bunch of beeping machines, but my partner just tore the headphones out of my ears and said, "There is a man wearing a MAGA hat in here." I misplaced a medical marijuana edible around 3 a.m. last night, and I couldn't find it till I woke up this morning, chugged the glass of water beside my bed, and the water tasted weird. So I'm relaxed in public for the first time in my entire life. My thoughts are snuggled between stacks of jelly donut pancakes. I am right now pouring syrup over my frontal lobe, which is to say I am chill today. Chill and terribly, terribly, terribly disturbed. Who wears a Trump hat to chemotherapy? Why didn't this guy get the memo I got? The one that said don't wear political attire to chemo? Who sent me that memo? I sent it to myself. Why'd I do that? I have no idea. Every article of clothing I own rocks a political slogan. March for our lives, rest in peace, patriarchy, queerdo. My own sister makes hats with the E crossed out of the word hate to spell simply hat. And I'm not even wearing that. Like, don't hate people is suddenly too edgy of a statement for me to make. Have I become a coward? Did my radical hysterectomy make me less radical? Has facing my own mortality robbed me of my politics? Please tell me I'm not becoming one of those can't we all just get along people? The ones I absolutely blame for the fact that no one can get along. I see a Trump hat and think, when that person dies, he's not going to be a ghost, he's going to be a white sheet. I see a Trump hat and think, when I die, dude's going to show up to my funeral waving a God hates queers sign at my family's tears. That is, if he knows I'm queer. I guess there's a chance he thinks I'm straight, that I'm bald now, but in a healthier year, I'm rocking a blonde bob with face-framing highlights, that I'm a mascara model who's only temporarily used up my wishes, that I'm wearing this blush to sun-kiss my already peachy cheeks, and not because my red blood cells have been devoured by radioactive vampires and I look dead without it. Who wears a Trump hat to chemotherapy? Is Trump even allowed to tweet? Pigeons have more permission to lead the country. In the chair closest to mine, there is another man who isn't wearing a Trump hat, but who I guess is a Trump voter because he just mentioned to the nurse that he has a few Mercedes. I know there are Democrats who have a few Mercedes. I just guess they mention it less in rooms full of people fighting for their lives. The first rule of being a rich liberal, act like you don't have money. Be so down to earth, you're actually dirty. No one can pull that look off except Bernie. Everyone can see Bernie is genuinely into conserving water. Me too. This hairdo is an environmental decision, a sacrifice I made for Mother Earth because something to know about me. I am convicted of my convictions. I believe in my beliefs. I have very strong opinions about my very strong opinions, so strong that if you say I can't take my politics to the afterlife with me, I'll say, well, that's not true, because my politics aren't my politics. My politics are my soul, and I'm not going anywhere without my soul, and that guy's politics aren't his soul. I don't think souls have machine gun collections. That guy's politics are more like his insides or his hangnails or his spit. I want to say you can't take your spit to the afterlife with you, not even to hell, but he doesn't think he's going to hell. He thinks I am. He doesn't know I'm going to show up to heaven just to see Jesus standing outside the pearly gates with a sign that says gays not welcome, and God and the clouds above him laughing like an ethereal sixth grader saying, we're just kidding. We're just kidding. Look, we made the pearly gates rainbow for you. Look, we made chips and hummus. Oh my God. How'd you know the queers love chips and hummus? Because I'm God. Oh my God. Is it true you're letting all the non-binary people in first? Yes. Oh my God. That's why you call it the Holy Trinity and not the Holy Binary, isn't it? Here's what's true. Here's what's true. I don't wear political attire to chemo because I desperately want this room to be a country where no one looks at me and identifies me as their enemy. I want to feel what I rarely feel outside of here, that everyone is rooting for me to survive, even MAGA hat guy. I want him to want me to live so long I could walk over right now, tell him I had to have my ovaries removed, and he'd be so kind. He'd say, Andrea, you can absolutely have one of mine. Just here, have it. There is a land that free somewhere. We just think believing in it is a child's prayer, something you only let yourself want when you don't yet know this world. But if that land can't exist in this room where everyone's being told they could die soon, how will it ever happen out there when everyone thinks they have so much time to kill, to slaughter? Mercedes guy has a daughter who loves him. I can see it in his eyes. And MAGA hat man has an angst inside him I recognize from all the times I had a pain so deep I thought peace was shallow and blame was the only way to dig it out. That kind of digging, it hurts like hell. It's the opposite of living, hoarding ideas that are so wrong they chase the soul out of the body that believes them. When you're there, you think you know everything and you can't be convinced you don't. Something I don't know right now, I don't know. I'm going to keep coming here week after week after week. I'm going to keep seeing these guys week after week after week, and then one week I won't. Their chairs will be empty, and I'll have no words for the feelings inside me. I'll only have tears that I will struggle and struggle to explain to anyone outside of this place, because everything in my politics knows the middle ground is where this earth will go to die. But when anyone in this room leaves this world, part of me does too. I feel it in every cell of me now that I am not a me. I am one eyelash on the eye of humanity, holding on for dear, dear life, trying to get the eyelashes beside me to look in the right direction before we are all wiped off the face of this planet that desperately wants us to live of natural causes, like kindness, like caring, like knowing these bodies are clothes we are all growing out of so quickly, until one day we will be only souls who can see we always wanted the exact same wish to come true. I know we will know that when we leave this world. The planet is just so desperate for us to know it now too.